Hey guys, I hope this video quality is alright. I'm having some trouble getting my camera to autofocus when it's on the video setting, but I probably just don't know how to use it very well. Anyway, it is so beautiful. It's snowing. It's coming down pretty hard outside. It's not really sticking because it's not that cold here, but it looks so pretty and it really gets me in that feeling of the holiday season. I hope you guys are enjoying December so far. Like I said, I'm trying to pop in for these videos regularly. I'm trying to get a few up a week, so we'll see if I can stay on track with that for the rest of this month at least. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about self-confidence. I think that's another thing that young people struggle with, and even people older as well struggle with. But I know I've especially struggled with and seen other people my age battle with this as well. And I think it's important to first point out that I don't think that this is something you can fake. I think that you can definitely fake having pride in yourself, but it will come off as being egotistical, self-centered, and more conceited. And I don't think that a true embodiment of a stable and quiet self-confidence can be faked. I don't think that that is possible. I think that true self-confidence comes from a place of really deeply and genuinely knowing yourself and having contentment with who and all that you are, and just having a quiet and proud ownership over that. And so if you see someone coming off as very loudly confident and kind of a forced confidence, I think most of us can see right through that very quickly, that it's just a facade and that it actually comes from a place of severe insecurity, and by creating noise and by coming on so strongly or harshly that someone can mask those insecurities, but oftentimes, obviously, it draws more attention to what's lacking, which is counterintuitive in itself. But again, like I said, I've struggled with finding self-confidence and maintaining self-confidence even when I think I'd found a little bit of it. And this often has come from comparison or from societal standards and not meeting those societal standards, and just this certain indoctrination that we have coming up as children, thinking of all the things we're supposed to be and all these weights that other people have placed on us that we feel like we have to live up to. And then we are disappointed when there's a gap between what we think is expected of us, or where we think we should be, and where we actually are. And oftentimes this is probably exaggerated because we're our own worst critics, but it can lead to a lot of self-confidence issues and self-love issues and low self-esteem and a high degree of self-consciousness and insecurity and social anxiety and maybe even depression. And that's very dangerous territory to get into, and it's just very disheartening to see other people struggle with this as well, because I wish more of us had a strong sense of self-confidence, and gosh, what a difference that would make in the world if more of us were content with who we are, and thus able to utilize all of our incredible strengths and gifts and put forth our efforts of utilizing those into the world. And so I think it's something that has to be cultivated, something that has to be cultivated in our lives and practiced and then like nourished and cherished. And it's not something that you attain and then you just have a hold on for the rest of your life. You have to consistently work at it, just like you have to consistently work at other character traits and skills in life. And I think it has to first come from knowing yourself, because if you don't truly sit with yourself and be silent and deal with all your yucky stuff, or the stuff that you think is yucky about yourself or your past, or the darkness in you, then you cannot truly be confident. Like, how can you be self-confident if you're not aware of and in touch with and accepting of your whole self? So I think it comes from first sitting and getting quiet with yourself, like whether that's meditating or journaling or just sitting in introspection, or maybe it's talking to someone else, a close friend or family member or a therapist. But I think it actually takes some getting quiet and some deep introspection to get to know who you are and to get to know where your insecurities lie and where you feel you have more room for growth, and just identifying those things and like really coming to terms with them, like identifying them and being like, I'm okay with all of these things. All of these things make me, and if I didn't have things that I consider as shortcomings, then what would be the purpose of me existing and having this life experience? Because we are here to grow and better ourselves and evolve and uplift others around us, and realize our callings and utilize our talents to fulfill our callings. And we cannot do this if we don't know who we are, and if we don't accept that we're not perfect. And I struggled with this for so long, but it's only something that I now feel like I'm getting a little bit of a grasp on in my early 20s. And so after we do that, I think it's much easier to accept ourselves, and therefore garner some confidence in who we are. And once we take ownership of that, it's a much more grounded and, like I said, quiet sense of confidence. And I think that that is what true self-confidence looks like. It's very tactful, and it's respectful of everyone around us, and of their well-being and their worth, and acknowledging that they are divinely beautiful human beings as well. But as just sitting in that quiet confidence, it's not very loud, and it's not overbearing, and it's not forced, and it's not feigned. It is just true and genuine and soft-spoken and gentle to ourselves and our weaknesses, and gentle to the weaknesses of others, and accepting, most of all accepting of our imperfections, accepting of the fact that we will falter, that those around us will falter, and it's forgiving. It's got to be forgiving. We have to be forgiving. We have to be forgiving with ourselves that we are going to struggle, and some days it's going to be really difficult to find any sense of self-worth or purpose or self-confidence, and to choose to keep going forward anyway. And I was thinking about something in the shower the other day, again, being in a quiet space and just letting my mind actually have a little bit of space to explore and to expand and fill that space. And I had this thought come to me that the joy is not in finding all the answers, but it's in realizing that you never will and deciding to seek anyway. And I think that's a good place to end this. That might have gone off on a tangent from what I was originally talking about, but hopefully you find some of these words encouraging, and just know that you are beautiful and loved, and I see you, and keep going. You're doing a great job. Don't stress so much. It'll all be okay.